The last topic we want to look at in Math 99 for functions is evaluating functions. Evaluating functions uses substitution, and each solution gives us an ordered pair. And remember, our y is represented by the f of x. So look at number 1. In question 1, I tell you that the f of x equals 2x plus 3. And then I ask you to find the f of 4. We changed x to 4. That means this x also needs to change. So we say that the f of 4 is equal to 2 times 4 plus 3, or 11. The f of 4 equals 11. This gives us an ordered pair for our graph. We were told that x is 4. The f of x, or y, is 11. Why don't you try to find the f of negative 3? Again, we changed x. X became negative 3, and so you needed to change this x as well. The f of negative 3 equals 2 times negative 3 plus 3. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. The answer to the f of negative 3 is negative 3. In this question, we changed x to negative 3. So that's our x value. And then y, or the f of x, was also negative 3. We have a new function this time. F of x equals 3x squared minus 2x. And again, I'm asking us to find the f of 4. X changed to 4. Each of these x's has to change to 4. So we write 3 times 4 squared minus 2 times 4. Then we just need to evaluate that. 48 minus 8 is 40. What ordered pair do we have? Well, we changed x to 4. And the f of 4, or y, was 40. Why don't you find the f of negative 3? This time we changed x to negative 3. Each of these x's had to be substituted with negative 3. So we have 3 times negative 3 all squared minus 2 times negative 3. 27 plus 6, 33. What ordered pair did you have? When x is negative 3, the f of x, or y, is 33. I do hope you have these notes printed. I would like you to pause your video now and try to answer question 3. (3a), we changed x to negative 1. That means each x had to be substituted with negative 1, and you should have found that it was equal to negative 6. What ordered pair did you find? When x was negative 1, y, or the f of x, is negative 6. In part B, we changed x to negative 3. So each x, we substituted negative 3 and found that the f of negative 3 is negative 24, giving us an ordered pair. When x is negative 3, y, or the f of x, is negative 24. Question 4 is a little bit tricky. When you look at the function I've given you, f of x equals 5, there's not actually any x in the function itself. What that's telling me is no matter what value x is, it's always going to equal 5. Even if f is negative, f of -3, still 5. There's no substituting that can happen because there's no x in the function itself. So the f of any number will always just equal 5. The ordered pair for A then, x is 0, y, or the f of x is 5. In B, what's your ordered pair there? X is -3, y, or f of x is 5. And I want to finally just introduce you to the absolute value function. This is a function represented by those two vertical lines beside x. This definition has two parts. We say that the absolute value of x equals x if x is greater than or equal to 0. The absolute value of x equals the opposite of x if x is less than 0. Let's label these part 1 and part 2. When I look at question 1a, we have x equals -1. Am I going to use part 1 or part 2? I'm going to use part 2 because x is less than 0. So that means my definition then, I'm going to substitute that -1 here. I'm looking at the opposite of -1, which is +1. In part B, the f of 1 gives me x equals 1. I'm using the first part of our definition because x is greater than 0. If x is greater than 0, I'm simply substituting into x. So the f of 1 equals 1. What the absolute value does is takes everything inside those lines and makes it positive. What's inside could be positive or negative. Once we take it out, the answer is positive. Can you answer question C? The f of 3. We see that x equals 3, which is greater than 0. So I'm using the part 1. It just equals 3. When I look at the f of -3, we see that x is less than 0. I'm going to use the second part of my definition, the opposite of -3, which is +3. Now I see that we didn't answer the ordered pair for each of these. Let's do that. 1a, x is -1, y is +1. 1b, x is +1, y is +1. C and D, can you fill in those ordered pairs? You'll see that our y values are always positive. We don't do any more work with functions in this course, but almost all of Math 103 is about functions. So make sure you have a general basic understanding about all of these function topics I've introduced you to here before you move on.